and meet all the fashionistas over here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Please sit. It's always great to talk to leaders. I think that's where the whole crux of the business is. And Khushru always puts me up as a warm-up act before he can come and give you some hard knocks. So I hope I am able to, just mull you into the whole scenario in terms of leadership and what we do. And, I was just thinking, I read a great article yesterday in the Times of India. And it just drew a parallel with the business that we have. This CEO of KPMG was talking in that interview. And it made sense, what he was saying. And it's always, when somebody is a people person, it's a different kind of success they talk about. Right? So in our business, I believe the greatest asset that we have is the wealth of building relationships. Would you agree? The human connection, the ability to make a difference, to empower somebody to go out and change their life. And that is what is always exciting to me. I love the fact that, even if you can help somebody begin to earn maybe, 5 to 10,000 rupees, that is going to have an impact on their life. Would you agree? So it's not just about the big money and the big rewards or whatever, but little changes that you can help in creating for somebody. It's a step in the right direction. And that is probably what keeps all the motivated leaders over here motivated, right? Every day we get up with a spring in our step because we just feel, wow, if we can empower somebody and help change something for somebody, it would be worth it, right? So in Network 21, I believe people are the heart and soul of the business. Jim and Nancy Dornan believed in you. They believe in you, right? You are basically their joy. You are basically their family. And you are also their legacy. So Jim is not here anymore, but whenever I think about it, I think, well, Jim is not here, but he is here. Would you agree? He's all the time here because we have the power of the Network 21 system to remind us of his intellectual property, of what he left for us in terms of all the seminars that he has addressed us with and, just the whole system that he has created. And I believe that if they look at us like their legacy, then it is our responsibility to reciprocate, right? And I think it's all about getting off our backsides. So we don't want to leave butt marks, but we want to leave footprints, right? So you want to get excited about the business opportunity itself. There will be times when you are kind of, like you're wondering, the periods of transition where things are changing. And that's a given. Change is a given. The whole world is changing. You look at today, before you can even wrap your head around some technology or something, it's changed, right? So things are changing constantly. And in our business too, why shouldn't there be change, right? So change is good. It's just the way we look at it and how we put a positive spin on it. It depends. If you, the other day we had a diamond meeting in Mumbai. Rashmi was there and Renee came and she gave us a whole bag of books. Can you imagine that? They're constantly thinking in terms of how they're going to empower the leadership, how they can give us more tools that we can work with. And I just got into this one book called Mindset. And that book basically talks about, you having a fixed mindset and you having a growth mindset. Fixed mindset is where, you've been doing things the way you've been doing and you don't want any change. That's a fixed mindset. We've always been doing that. Things have always been like that. हमने ऐसा किया था, हमने वैसा किया था, अब क्यों बदले? Right? That's a fixed mindset. But when you think in terms of growth, there will always be change, right? So I was just thinking in terms of what are you specifically, intentionally, daily doing to grow your business? What are you specifically, intentionally, daily doing to grow your business? Because leadership is visual. Leadership is what people see, right? And don't lean on yesterday. You know, some of you may have failed, some of you may have had some successes. That was yesterday, it's over. Today is a new day, it's a new start. And you constantly want to think in terms of how are you going to empower people in terms of, when they look at you, are they seeing you grow? Or are you the same stagnant, static person? You know, it's so visual. And log bhap lete hain. They can figure, you know, when a leader is up and going and when the leader is not. So, especially, you know, even if you lead 2-3 people, or even if you're at an LC level, you have some people who are following you. And you want to be very, very deliberate in terms of what example you're setting. Does that make sense? Yeah? So, the best place to start is, you know, self-leadership. It always starts with us. If you want change in your business, the best place to start is with you. And be the change you want to see in your group. What kind of change would you like? Would you like more core people in your group? Would you like people to, you know, log their PV on the very first 1 or 2 days of the month? Would you like them all to come to the business previews? Would you all like, you know, them to be on the CP program? Would you like them to, you know, phone and counsel? What are the things that you want? And then just step back and say and think, are you doing all of that? Are you really core? Or are you just fudging core? You know, when Massimo Bini put that core worksheet out, it's a powerful tool, provided you use it. You use it first for yourself so that you can teach others how they can use it and develop from there, right? And it's so true, isn't it? If the very, you know, if you're told that the secret of growing to whatever level you want is that you follow the basics of core, why aren't we really core? Time and time again, I catch people who are, you know, they say they are core, but I know they're not. You know, CP has to be prescribed. You have to, you know, get your subscription done. People miss it. Platinums miss it. So you have to just put some time in the thought that what are you really doing intentionally to grow your business and grow you, right? It is impossible to grow others if you're not growing continually. Does that make sense? Right? And I love what John Maxwell says. He says, be a leader, don't be a history teacher. It's true. You know, some of us just rest on the past and think, oh, sab ho gaya, theek hai, whatever. And we don't, you know, push ourselves to go that extra mile or to do that little extra. So that is one of the most important things, because when you grow, you add. But when you grow your people, you multiply. That's duplication. But if you are not on the growth curve, you cannot take somebody with you on that curve. You know, because people want to follow people who are moving, who are doing it, right? So leadership is all about that. How much you care for me. You know, whenever somebody new joins, their thought process is, can I trust you? You know, can I trust you? Will you care for me? Will you show me the way? And most often, you know, I was talking to one of my leaders, and they were talking in terms of confidence, and that person said, you're always so confident, and I can never be like you. And I said, that's not the point. If you are patient to do a few things and learn, and you log the same amount of time as I have in the living rooms and in meeting people, you will have that confidence. But confidence has to be first, you know, you have to just be that. When somebody new you meet, are you doubting that you will probably build a business? Because if they can feel that, they will not join you. They have to feel that, yes, you're going someplace and that he can come along with you. You know, so it's very, very important that you have that mindset in terms of, I know what I'm doing. Hey, I know what we have. I have the vision, and come with me, I'll show you. Right? So change is always happening, and you cannot doubt that. There will be periods of transition. There will be lots of changes, and the only thing you really have to avoid is brashness at the time of those kind of transitory periods. Right? Nancy Donnan always says, just because you lead, you do not have a luxury to be rude. People will ask you questions which may seem ridiculous to you, which may seem stupid to you, but all they're looking for is your assurance. They feel insecure. You just have to use certain calm words of hope and vision and stuff like that to to take them through that process in terms of their own mindset. Yeah? So, be mature about everything. Take ownership of your business. If you don't do it, who's going to do it? And I love what Massimo Bini says. Look at you and ask, would you join you? And most often we are, I don't know, sometimes you're not in that phase, and you should just snap out of it and say, no, I know that this is not working. What can I do to change? What can I implement? Right? So casting vision is the prime goal of a leader. And you want to be immersed in the CD program. Because when you listen to the big guys talk and where they are coming from, what their vision is, what their lifestyle is, how this opportunity has impacted them, you will get the confidence to talk to anybody. Right? And you'll be the leader that is a Network 21 leader. So characteristics that you may just want to focus on and develop, I just wrote down very quickly, steadfastness and solidness of purpose. When they talk to you, do they feel, ye karega ki nahi? Is he going to be around same time next year? And you should believe in this. If like some of us have been in this business for 15, 16 years now. And sometimes, in spite of all the years, there will be a little bit of doubt in your head. And if you question that, you have to just go back to the drawing board and say, this is not going to work. I have to change. I have to change somewhere. Right? So clarity of thought. Mitch always says, if you have clarity, you will create urgency, and that will probably help you in achieving some of your dreams and goals. Right? So clear thinking is very, very important. Faith. Do you have faith? Do you have faith in you? Do you believe? Do you absolutely believe that you will be a diamond? That's an internal thing. You have to have that thing come from you. I just know. I know everything now. I just have to put the work in place, and I can reach my goal. Do you have that faith? Do you have that faith in your company? One leader asked me, will they be around? And I was quite taken aback. Because stuff happens, but it's been around for 55, 54 years now. They've never withdrawn from any market. Right? That should not be a question. But I figured that person was somewhere in a different place. Right? Sometimes they will just say a flippant line like that. Sometimes they may not tell you. But if you're a smart leader, you will figure it out. You'll guess it. And hopefully if you can clarify a few things, they can get back into action and move on. Right? So that is very important. Do you have faith in Network 21? Yeah? And do you have faith in God? All is well. You should constantly be playing this game. Everything is fine. Everything is great. Things are happening. We are moving on. And it's what you say to yourself that will ultimately get embodied in the kind of person you are and the kind of life you have. I saw a little clip, And this guy was saying that, imagine, your brain is really like a circuit switch. And imagine, for God forbid, if you were in a coma and you got up and somebody told you, pick anything, that you were a very good actor before you went into coma. How would your posture be? What would you be thinking? You can't remember anything, but somebody is telling you that you were very good, you were a fantastic actor, or you were an army guy, or you were a pianist, or whatever. Your thought process is, yes, I was, right? So you have to embody that. You have to start thinking in terms of, what am I? Are you thinking like a diamond? Are you thinking like, yes, I'm going to create a huge, huge empire. I'm going to create this huge dynasty of people. And if you can do that, your mind is such an unbelievable place that if you positively keep on reinforcing certain things to you, it will respond accordingly. And that's why they say stay away from the negatives, right? Because whether you think of it or not, that negative is going to affect you. You see a movie which has a weird end or whatever, you carry it with you, isn't it? You go home and you kind of feel, kuch acha nahi hua, like it's like not nice. So that happens. So you want to be really, really trusting in terms of what we have and what we are all about. Humility and servanthood. Don't be so big that you forget how we actually went out and built the business. Sometimes people need a little more mollycoddling or whatever, but we were just talking. If you babysit them too long, then that's also a disadvantage. So at some point you should know, it's like, when do you push and when do you pull? You want to have some kind of an idea in terms of what is the right balance in terms of how you move. But taking ownership is really up to you. And from the very beginning, when you talk to somebody new, if you talk to them like a business owner, then they start thinking differently also. If you say, I'm going to do a lot with you, I'm going to do everything for you, then forget it. You'll never create leaders. Right? Gratitude. You need to have gratitude for all the stuff that you have. Just if whatever be the level you're at, just think about the memories that you have created in this business. Right? We saw a little clipping on N21 guy. You can also have a look at it. It was amazing to me, and I showed it to some of my leaders. A gold producer couple being recognized on stage, 92 and 90 years old. Just gone gold producer. Art and Jeannie Lang. And the guy just kept laughing, and old guy. And he said, I'm just so blessed to be in this environment because, it has just changed our complete thought process. Imagine even at that age, he has the gumption to go out and build the business. But what it is doing for them, they look like a happy couple, happening. It was really, really endearing to watch. I was just so happy looking at that, and you should look at it. It's really, really good. But yeah, happiness is the key. And if you're happy, you will have growth. Isn't it? If you're always working and if you're always in a happy mood, you can do more, isn't it? Do you ever feel tired when you work? I don't think so. I'm more energized. I'm more high-strung. I'm more, wanting to, late night also I can go out and show another 10 plans because I'm in the move and I'm working. All the problems start when you're sitting there doing nothing. Does that make sense? Association, who you hang out with. Right? And association is not about who are the people you hang out with, but also who are the people you actually avoid. And sometimes that can be a big key. You really have to know when it is a time that this is not going to work. We have to move on, right? And have the guts to, just end relationships. Sometimes you don't have to tell them, but you can slowly shift away from that. If it is going to make you negative about anything, stay away. So association. Every time we are with Peter and Debbie, we get so fired up because I just feel like, hey, I can be a FCA. I can do it. You be around any of these leaders. Do you ever feel down when you're with your upline? I don't think so. It fires you up. So you just want to put more and more people in that space. Give them a little challenge. If they can have a handshake opportunity with Sushila and Rashmi, wow, that's huge. It's how do you edify that? Just 5 minutes with them is fantastic. It's unreal, but you have to put value on that. Are you work driven? Run the numbers. Do not forget we are in a numbers game. If Mit Sala can say that, do VIP 20 for the convention to his own daughter, don't judge anything, get 20 people to the convention, and then we talk. I think it's good enough advice for all of us, isn't it? Some of you here may not have 20 people coming to the convention. Maybe that could be a goal. You can just start today and think, can I talk to 10 people, 10 couples quickly so that they can come? You and your husband, 1 couple done. Okay, so 9 couples. Can we do that? And think all the time in terms of possibilities, not in terms of, oh, how will we do it? 9 people, kahan se launga? अरे यार तेरे घर में पार्टी होती है तो 60-70 लोग होते. So it's just a matter of how you look at it, right? So you have to be really, really driven in terms of the numbers. When you talk to the U35s, the young people, I've got a lot of chiller party in my groups happening now. And when you talk to them, what is the key thing they want? They want to be boss of the world, innit? They want to be boss, they want to have fun. Right? So play that music. It's like, you take them to a rock concert and you play classical music. You lost them. Right? So you may be I don't want to use the word, but you may be a senior person, right? But if you want to relate to the younger guys, know what they want. Figure it out. Ask your children what they want. And you'll get amazing answers if you do that. I got one girl to write down 100 dreams, and I showed it to some people over here. Amazing how their mind works. She's written, I want to have a statue of my own. I never heard a dream like that. I've never read it before. Right? Then she's written over there, I want to have a hospital. And I thought she was from the medical thing. I said, are you in medicine or something? She's saying, no, but I can always have a hospital. Amazing dreams come out when we talk to the young people. So we think out of our fixed mindset, what we have already got, how hard it has been in terms of achievement, and what we can possibly get. But they have no limit. They're free-spirited, they just dream big. So you want to get in touch with that kind of reality, right? And there are people who are going to be like that. So move very, very fast. Some of you young people sitting over here, we need your example. You want to be up on stage as quickly as possible so that we can be attractive to your mob. Does that make sense? So it's just amazing. And everything takes time. It's when you were a baby, you didn't just get up and start walking and talking, did you? There was a process. It takes time. So over here also, learn to be willing to invest in you. And you'll only invest in you based on how you see you. And also, evaluate some of the strengths that you have. Your ability, your skills. You want to constantly, I'm always thinking on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 not included, 1 to 10, what am I on this? And be honest and mark yourself. It's a very interesting thing, And even if you can notch up 1 or 2 points over there, you'll go from ordinary to extraordinary. Believe me, it's that simple. You know, you talk about attitude. Some people were talking about attitude and all, and how do we keep ourselves motivated and attitude is a choice. You know, you can go from a 0 to 10 on attitude instantly if you decide. You don't have to get good at skill or anything. There you have to do a little bit of work. But attitude, you can just flick a switch in your head and you'll be positive. But you want to start feeling that. You want to start doing that, right? Discipline is a choice. Consistency is a choice. You know, motivation will get you going, but discipline and consistency will keep you going, keep you growing. So you want to just have a little more on that. You know, you do anything 1,000 times, you'll get good at it. Talk to any of the greats, they will always say, I hit so many balls, in the net I did so much, or that kind of work. It's logging time. And every time you do a little bit of work, you ask a question, what did I do well? What can I avoid? You know, so what can I give up? What can I start to use? And what can I teach? And if you constantly keep asking certain questions of you will become pretty good in this business. Because, you know, disappointment is a fact of life. Everybody feels disappointed. Everybody gets discouraged. You know, sometimes we do a lot of work and we don't see the result and it's discouraging. Right? But one line from Nancy Dornan, I remember, she said, you'll be paid very, very handsomely for all the discouragements you go through in life. And that line has always kept me going. You know, so discouragement is what? It's a gap between expectation and reality. And you want to constantly work on that gap to keep getting better and better. Right? So patience can be a big thing. You want to be patient. But also you want to, be patient with new people also. Sometimes because you have a big goal, you try and push them, you'll push them the other way. So be impatient with you to some extent. Be patient with you also to some extent. Some things don't happen. Rome was not built in a day. It takes time. Some things take time to build. Big empires take time to build. Big companies take time to build. So be patient about that. And, people are always anxious. You know, they want their circumstances to change, but they don't want to change themselves. So it's a little bit of, you have to have the right mindset to know what works. There is a price to pay always. You know, I talk to a lot of successful people. Everybody has had a price to pay. You know, the Olympians who are there, they pay a huge price. I've got one executive platinum. Their kid wants to become a footballer, a pro, you know. And the kind of stuff they are doing with that kid is unbelievable. You know, in terms of his diet, strict nutrition, charts, diet, 5 o'clock get up, go for training and get the best coaches and you name it, like they are all into it. But there is a price. If you want something bad enough, you'll have to pay that price. Right? So I'll just bring Khushru up. I think he's got another 20 odd minutes to tell you what else we can do.
I was so enjoying her talk on the leadership issues that I was sort of hoping that she'd just continue on. And I get to hear a lot more and learn from her. But evidently she decided that she wants to rest a little bit. I can hear from your clapping that you wanted her to continue too. But unfortunately, now you've got me. So welcome to leadership. Right? Leadership में वो चीज होती है जो आपने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था, और कभी कभी कुछ अच्छी चीजें होती है, कभी कभी कुछ बुरी चीजें होती है. तो मैं आपको एक कहानी सुनाना चाहता हूँ. 17 camels, right? There was once, let's call him an Arab sheikh. Actually, it's too little for an Arab sheikh, so we'll call him somebody in the Rajasthan desert. I'll shift the story location from the Gulf to the Rajasthan desert. But there was this chief who had 17 camels, and he had 3 children, and he was sort of on his deathbed, and he wanted to will these 17 camels, and पता नहीं शायद उसकी mathematics weak थी या क्या. So he said, I want to give half of my camels to my eldest son. I want to give 1/3 of my camels to my middle son. And I want to give 1/9 of the camels to my youngest son. And then साहब गुजर गए. अब ये 3 में लड़ाई झगड़ा शुरू हुआ. वो फ्रैक्शन वाला कौन लेगा, right? And if you start your divisions and try to divide 17 by 2, you'll be in as much trouble as I was. And so they were fighting, unable to divide those 17 camels, until a friend of the father came over and he said, बेटे क्यों झगड़ रहे हो? And they said, ये वाला हाल है, वो fraction कहाँ जाएगा? So he says, देखो, I have a camel, I will add it to your father's 17. So now it became 18 camels. What is half of 18? 9. So the eldest son got 9. What is 1/3 of 18? 6. So the middle son got 6. What is 1/9 of 18? 2. So the youngest son got 2. अब अगर आपकी मैथमेटिक्स थोड़ी सी भी ठीक है तो the total is 17. So the guy said, मैं अपना camel वापस ले लेता हूं. So now he got his camel back. The sons got their share, right? And you are saying ये मैथमेटिक्स का लेसन हमारे साथ क्यों? है ना, मैथ्स तो हमने तभी भी हमें पसंद नहीं थी, अभी भी पसंद नहीं है. But my point is simple. You need to find your 18th camel. Right? आप भी अभी लड़ झगड़ रहे हो because of those fractions and decimals in your life. Right? And you are still sort of trying to sort out these issues, but you need as leaders to find your 18th camel. Right? जब आपको वो अपना 18वां ऊंट मिल जाएगा तो ये बिजनेस बहुत आसान हो जाएगी. Right? बहुत आसान हो जाएगी. Right? You have a life. And I've always felt like saying some of you have a wife. Right? Which is like, you know, adding this business on top of all of that is tough, isn't it? Right? You know, I have a wife too. And I've been married to her now for, I think, 29 odd years. Right? 29 odd years. Right? 30 will make it even. But, you know, I've always tried to understand her for the last 29 years. And in varying degrees, I just about come to the level where I think I understand her, and then she does something bilkul viprit. So I'm back to the same thing, right? So one of these days, I was with some wise people, you know, looking for my 18th camel, and I said, you know, I've always wanted to understand my wife. And ये जो काफी मतलब दुनिया देख चुके थे, उन्होंने कहा, there are 2 times in your life when you don't understand your wife. And I was all ears. I said, चलो अब तो जवाब मिल जाएगा. And he said, the first time is before marriage and the second one is after marriage. So I am now in the second phase, still trying to understand her. One of these days I will figure it out. I'm sure you are in about the same boat as I am. You can't understand your wives, but this business you can understand. That 18th camel you can find, right? This is my strong feeling that each one of you can find your 18th camel, right? So what is the first step towards changing your life? I mean, I don't know what's your problem in the life, you know, right? You could have many leadership issues. Your business could be growing or not growing, and you will have challenges either way. You may have achieved some of your dreams, and you may be far away from some of your dreams, and you have problems. there may be leadership issues, there may be downline issues, there are relationship issues. There are so many things that can be problems in your life. But what is stopping you from success? Right? There may be, again, so many things that can stop you from success. Right? I've said, is it your dream? This is funny that I'm talking to leaders, committed people, LC, 10 plus, more, big bins, right? And I'm saying, is it your dream that is stopping you from success? Because some of you have not really worked on your dream. Your dream is not that which fires you up. Your dream is not that which can get you excited when you're just talking about it. Or your dream is so stale that you no longer believe that it is possible, and therefore you're no longer excited about your own dream. Right? Is it that is stopping you? Is it accountability that is stopping you? You know, I had an upline who held accountability in very high esteem. I still have him, by the way. Right? He's still my upline. But he held accountability in very high esteem. It is very important for him to see that his team is accountable, which means your word is your word. जो आप कहते हो वो करके दिखाना है, right? Are you accountable to your upline? Are you accountable to yourself? Honestly, that's the first step, isn't it? जो अपने आप के लिए सोचा है, सपना देखा है, उसी के लिए अगर आप accountable हो जाओ तो और किसी को accountability दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. लेकिन it is so much more fun to be accountable to an upline and work as part of a team, and both of you can grow. Both of you can grow, right? Are you failing because of your work ethics? Some of you, I'm very sorry to say it, but some of you are just not doing enough work. And sadly, you know it. And just that is holding you back. You know, your work ethics are holding you back, right? So there are so many things that can hold you back. And the first step of finding your 18th camel is to believe that this business is a solution. I mean, I'm here to tell you that I've seen a lot of life, and there are other solutions to your problems. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying this is the only solution you can ever find to have what you want in life. But I'm here to tell you that I have explored many of these other solutions, and none of them are as good as this business is. None of them are as good as this business is. Right? So very important for you to understand that. Instead of wasting years and years like I did looking at options, can you start believing that you already have an option, it is bloody good, and can you become serious about the option that you already hold? Right? And the second step is your 18th camel. Right? So you still have to sort out what is holding you back. Right? Once you have belief that this is a solution to your problems, what is holding you back? Right? And we've discussed that, and all of you sort of man hi man mein jante ho. You know what is holding you back. You've got to just make a decision. Mickey said something wonderful. She said you can change your attitude from 0 to 10 instantly. Instantly, right? So it's like by the time you get out of this meeting, you're already on your way. You have found your 18th camel and you're on your way to success. Things will change. Things will change. But you've got to make that decision. You've got to be smart enough to admit it. Sometimes we don't admit it. You know, I remember when I was overweight. Not that I'm perfect now. I have still, I think, 4 kilos to go. But I remember when I was way overweight, I would look Mickey would tell me, she's blunt. You know, some of you need a wife like that. She would tell me you're fat, right? And I would say, I'm not. You know, and I would go to the mirror, first suck my stomach in, then look at myself. And then I said, mota to dikhta hi nahi. Right? All of you can suck your stomach and just try it as you're sitting. You know you can, isn't it? Right? Now, if you do that every time, you're fooling yourself. Right? But can you just see yourself as others see you, and you know the right answers will come to you. Right? So that is your job. That is your real job. Okay? Now, I'm an engineer. Right? And I'm constantly thinking of structures. Right? Now, there are, you know, when a non-engineer thinks of this word structure, he's visualizing the physical structure. You know, कुछ खड़ा कर दिया, एक bridge खड़ा कर दिया, एक इमारत खड़ी कर दी, building खड़ी कर दी. That's a structure that you start thinking of. But in engineering, we call it planning as a structure. You know, so you structure a project, right? That itself is structuring. Okay, and in our business, this is very, very important. This is very, very important, right? Setting up a fixed time to regularly monitor your progress is what we used to do for projects, right? Structuring a project. Say we set a fixed time. Every Monday we want to evaluate what happened in the last 1 week, for example, right? Maybe every evening we want to evaluate what happened in the 12 hours of the daytime, right? So what structure are you setting up, right? I can talk both of physical and the planning type of structures with respect to our business, right? But let's just start seeing it with this. What are you doing to structure your business? This is a business which will bring you freedom, right? Freedom. We're talking freedom. We're not talking of something small. We're talking of really being rich and really being free, right? Sometimes we just get confused and we treat this like something which is so insignificant, a change in our life, that we don't even apply any priority to this business, right? And that is what I see when I see very successful people not moving on in this business. I'm absolutely convinced that they are not putting a priority on this business, which can be so meaningful, can bring about the very changes that they are seeking in their life, and yet they are avoiding the structuring of that business, right? So that's what I mean, right? We can look at it from a very basic perspective. As leaders, you've all heard some of your uplines mention the word core, right? And I want to tell you that core is not as simple as you think it is, right? When I first came to India, I was core. I was like 100% core, right? I was committed. I was excited. I was passionate about this business. Peter Cox had said he's going to come to India. And he said, if you collect a lot of people, I'll come again. So I collected 400 people to sit in front of Peter when he came to India. And I was thrilled. I was excited. I was really bubbling with energy. I had my notes. I had my pencil. I had lots of options to write down. Recorder, baju mein rakha tha. And Peter came on stage and he looked at me. I was sitting in the first row. And he said, tell me the steps of core. And I'm brilliant. I just opened my mouth and no words would come. I peeped into my brain and I honestly did not remember even the first step of core. My brain was blank. Right? And you know how Peter is. He just made the same face that I made. And he made everyone laugh and he moved on. But I sat there saying, if core is so bloody important, how come I can't repeat it if I am woken up from, say, my sleep at midnight? Why is it not so ingrained in me that when Peter just threw the question, yeah, I admit that I am intimidated by him. I admit that I respect him so much that my brain can stop working when I'm in front of him. But why is it not so ingrained in me that no matter what, I can repeat those 7 steps? And my challenge to you is, are you that sort of a core now? Is it ingrained in you? Can you just talk about core every waking moment of your life, every sleeping moment of your life? If you are woken up, can you tell that new person what he has got to do to make sure that he's successful in this business? Are you, as Massimo Bini put it, are you really core? Would you pass an exam if I asked you to fill out that self-evaluation sheet right now? I can almost put a challenge to this sort of a crowd, this big amount of people, that some of you have not even downloaded that form. You are in this mistaken belief that you really are core where you are not. More importantly, you are not able to duplicate the correct things. So while I'm saying, yeah, this is a very small little thing, are you passionate about that small little thing? Right? And is that part of your structuring the business? Have you got a plan to sort of make sure that you are there? Step 1, find a printer. How difficult is it? Right? If you don't have a printer at home, I know a lot of you have the same Surti blood in you as I have. So if one of you is working, I know you will print the 2 sheets at work to save that 150 paisa or whatever is the printing cost. Well, go ahead, do that. But do something to change your life. Do something, right? So get serious about it, right? If you are really structuring your business and you've got this core really ingrained in you, have you checked your personal PV over the last 12 months? What level is it at? Is it 100 or more? Are you growing? Is it stagnant? Is it going down? Do you just buy PV because some goal is being achieved, your group stops somewhere and you need to buy? Or do you just buy on the first of the month? What are you doing about a simple thing like personal peak? What are you doing about your 10 customers? Do you know that to get 10 sales in a month, you might have to have a customer database of 30 or more? It's not just that you had 10 people and they'll buy a toothpaste every month. Some of them don't buy every month. Some of them buy every 3 months. Some of them will buy every 2 months. Some of them buy a bottle of daily and it'll take 4 months to finish that bottle. What are you doing to make sure that your structure is in place, to make sure that you are going towards the goals, towards your dreams, towards that part of life which you so desperately crave? But are you really there, or are you just playing a game? Are you here in this hall just because it's cool and it's hot outside? Or are you here in this hall because you want to change your life? You can do either. You can sit here in this nice air-conditioned comfort and go home and say, I heard a wonderful speech from Mickey. And she was moving and she was mellifluous and her voice was beautiful and we all loved it, and do nothing about it. Or you can make a decision and change. I hope you make a decision this evening. I hope you make a decision this evening. We talked about work. We talked about lack of work ethics. Are you really doing 15 to 30 plans a month? Yes, course has 8. But I'm here to tell you that 8 carries no weight. 8 is practice. If you're trying to fool yourself into honestly believing that 8 plan karke tumhari zindagi badloge, so maybe I am your wake-up call. 8 plan se kuch nahi badalne wala hai. Shayad you will become fluent at the plan. That's about it, right? But 15 to 30 plans, are you going to do it? I don't have a lot of time, so I'll run through these numbers. But you all know it, isn't it? You know that you've got to be on the CEP program. You know it innately. But you forgot to order the CEPs. You just forgot. 10 तारीख हो गई, 11 तारीख को CEP मिलती नहीं है. Some of you are into this, what we call the cash CEP. Hey, don't think I don't know, right? I know. And why you're on cash CEP, I have no clue. That, honestly, I don't know. Because ek to cash CEP is not reported to your upline. So nobody will ever know whether you're on CEP or not. And Duji, you don't know whether you'll get it or not. If they run out of stock, if you are a bit late, you don't get it for the month. And you don't get it in the month when the CD that will really affect your brains and your thinking is released. And there's no way to get it back. And it's a terrible, terrible loss. But some of you are actually losing out because of this element of laziness, of I don't know, laparwahi, whatever you want to call it, right? Mickey talked about duplication. But what are you going to duplicate? You don't want to duplicate an imperfect you, right? And we all have imperfections. What if you look at something basic like a 15 planner, duplicate the engine that drives the train? Can you all think that I want a team of 15 planners to drive my business? But can you be one of those? Can you be a 30 planner so that you can develop a team of 15 planners? Because you know that what duplicates will never be at your level of operation. It will always be less. Mitsala says half. Half of what you do is what your team will do. So if you want a team of 15 planners, you need to be a 30 planner. Is it difficult to be a 30 planner? Is your dream so cheap that you can't even talk about changing your life 1 hour a day? It takes about 20 to 25 minutes to show a plan. Give yourself an hour of travel to and fro. Give yourself an hour and a half. Even then it is 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day to change your life. And yet you are rotting where you are working. If you have a boss like I had, right? Or you are rotting in your business. You are self-employed and you are still not growing. You have no future. And you continue to do that, but you won't put an extra 2 hours into changing your life. What structures are you following? And when I was told so many things, I ended up being confused. I'm not like my wife, multitasking, right? So I wanted one simple answer. And I looked at Mitsala and I looked at Peter Cox and I looked at Jim and Nancy Dornan and I heard hundreds and hundreds of CDs to sort of say, if I have such a problem grasping multiple concepts and I had to boil it all down to one thing, which I can remember for the month, let's say, till the next brilliant speaker tells you what else to do. Or till your upline figures out, hey, this is too much of this, change, right? If I had to grasp on one concept, I would look at this structure. Now, this is more or less a physical structure of our business, though there's nothing physical about it. And I would look at the concept of VIP 10. You know, you need 10 people from 3 legs coming to the convention happening. Do you know there's a convention happening? Do you know there's Christiawan coming from Indonesia? Do you know that he was a student and he recruited students and he's still an executive diamond? I mean, do you know the value of what your people can get out of it if they can pick up his passion for performance? I mean, you've got to put people over there. VIP 10 is the absolute smallest little block that you can put in front of Christiawan and hope to move on. You will have regrets. You will have regrets that, why did I not put more people? But at least 10 to prevent yourself from committing suicide after he goes. Right? I mean, that's if you've got a brain up there ticking. Right? At least 10. That should be a structure that you have in mind. 3 legs, 10 or more tickets sold, they must attend. If they don't sit on a chair, that's not a ticket sold. I have people who can sell 900 rupees is nothing nowadays. 900 रुपया दे के लोग नहीं आते. अरे मेरे पास तो लोग थे जो 4000 रुपया दे के नहीं आते थे. और वो एक ही आदमी 4 बार नहीं आया. और मैं फिर भी 5वीं बार उसके पास गया था. Are you as persistent about putting people in front of people like Christiawan as I am? Because if you are, you will end up with a big business. A better structure, Mickey referred to it. She said Mitch Sala wanted his daughter to follow it. VIP 20 plus, 3 legs, 20 or more people. It's not a big deal. But that's the level at which Mitch Sala told his daughter that you've got to start believing that you're sort of in the business. If you're a 15 planner and you have 20 or more in a meeting. So if you really want to start believing that you are in a business which is going to change your life, VIP 20 plus is the absolute minimum you're targeting. You have time between now and the time that you have to attend the meeting on the 12th of April, 11th and 12th, is it? Right? So you have time. But are you going to use that time correctly? Are you going to put a priority on this structure as opposed to any other structure in your life? Not just this business, in your life. There are going to be exams right now somewhere for some people. There are going to be priorities that are different from this. But Christiawan just comes and he goes. He inspires and he goes. And your people can be there or not. And if they are not going to be inspired and your life will not change for the next 6 months. And what is the value you're putting on your time? Are you just saying that, currently I'm earning sweet nothing from this business and that multiplied by 6 months is sweet nothing? Or are you saying there are people like Mitch Sala and Jim Dornan and Peter Cox who are earning millions of dollars from this business, and millions of dollars divided by 6 months is a lot of money to lose? How many of you are smart enough to understand what is your loss because of just sitting on that seat doing nothing? That is the loss you are suffering. It's huge. But that is the gain you can be making if you get off your butt, as Mickey said. That's the word she used, not me. If you get off your butt and start doing the work. Right now, you've got the time. Make up your mind. I've got only 2 minutes left. I'm passionate about this thing. There is a structure called VIP 45 plus. I don't know whether it's promoted here. I'm sure it is. If Sushil and Rashmi are here, they must be talking about it because we talk a lot about it. But at 45 plus, you are more or less headed to silver. And where we have conventions in a 4-month pattern, we just say that, if you are VIP 20 plus, you move to 45 plus next convention, and then you are a silver in the second one after that. Guaranteed. What are you doing to move to that level? There's going to be a Go Diamond next April in Bali. Fantastic location, exotic. We made big decisions during the previous Go Diamond in Bali. We moved on in our business as a result of attending that convention. You can qualify as a silver and be there, but are you going to do some work to get there? And the work starts now. The work starts abhi. I know there is the World Cup. I know there will be a semi-final between India and Australia. And you know what? If I'm so passionate about cricket, I can record it and watch it stroke for stroke later on. Later on is when I cannot meet people for this business. Whatever your time is for not meeting people in this business, that's when you can watch. But are you going to be that serious about it, or are you going to say, nahi yaar, World Cup hai, to dekh lenge, baad mein baat karenge? And then miss this chance of putting that structure in front of that convention when Christy Avan is there. My time is up, the lights are flashing, I don't know where to finish. But I've got to finish now, because I'm a team player. When I'm told to shut up, I do. I've got 29 years of experience with my wife being told to do that and doing it immediately, right? I just feel that, I just feel that if I can just lend you my passion for a little bit of time, for the next 20, 30 odd days till that next convention, and you work hard, your whole life will change as a result of that passion you put in for the next 20 days. But I hope you're catching it from stage. There is no other way of doing it, right? This business takes time. I'm going to take one more minute because I want to share this thought with you, right? Sometimes when I speak with so much passion and you hear with the same amount of passion, you tend to get tempted to do things in a short amount of time. And when you want to do things in a short amount of time, you get tempted to do the wrong things. Shortcuts, we call them in engineering. And every shortcut I've ever used in engineering has cost me a lot of time. And sometimes a lot of money, right? So I just want to leave you with this thought, There's this monkey who loves mangoes. Now some of you know that even I love mangoes, right? But there's this monkey who loves mangoes, and he's a smart monkey. Some of you know that we evolved from that species, right? So obviously they were smart at some stage, and we inherited it and developed that brain and came to this level. But anyway, so this guy figured out that these mangoes grow on a tree. And he saw a mango on a tree, and he figured out somehow that a tree grows from a seed being planted. He must have seen some farmer plant a seed. But he's a monkey. Aakhir ko to jaat dikhani hai. So he ate a mango, put the seed in the ground, and 10 minutes later dug it up to see if there was something coming out of the seed. And another 10 minutes later he did it again. And he did this every 10 minutes for the next 2 days until that poor thing died. That seed would never germinate after that. And so he never got the fruit of his labor. And some of us, in our haste to become successful, forget the basic principles of our business. And we are like that monkey. We put the seed in, and 10 minutes later we want to see the result.
While the techniques and approaches